Here at CARS360, we offer exceptional trade-in services. You can bring in your old car and be able to trade it in for a brand new car like this Mazda Demio. But don't hear it just from me. Let's hear it from our very own happy customer who's taking the keys of this very car.
My name's Josephat Ogeke Kebaso. I have a friend called Alan. He works with Momentum. So I asked him if I can do a trade-in. And he told me that there's an availability of trading in my vehicle to get another vehicle, at least for a longer service. The process was okay. I was sent a few photos of the vehicles. I'd specified I wanted a Mazda Demio, something not more than 1.5 liters. And the one I liked is what he had to go for. I didn't have to go through the hassle of finding a buyer. So what I did is gave them my older car, and then it was valued. And at last I did a small top-up for me to get the new car. So yeah, I saved significantly. So I've given them my old car keys. I've taken my new car keys and I'm now about to drive out. I just feel like being on the road so easy. So you'd have to excuse me.
It's that simple. You come in with your old car and you're able to trade it in with us. That is one happy customer, and we hope you can be our next happy customer here at CARS360. So please do come in and trade in your car with us, and we will be able to get you any dream car that you desire. CARS360, we import, we insure, we maintain, and we trade in. And welcome to our second webinar here on CARS360, where we import, we insure, we maintain, and we trade in. My name is Antony Madilschy, and I will be your host today for a wonderful webinar with an interesting topic that we are ready to learn. So just a little bit about CARS360. CARS360 is an automotive 360-degree solution partner. We offer hassle-free car importation, insurance, asset financing for new and used cars, and we also offer trade-ins and maintenance solutions for your car. We truly do take out the guesswork from your car ownership. And this is an all-round full service reaching from the things I've just stated: importation, insurance, maintenance, and trade in. And we have extensive years of experience doing all these things in order to offer the best services for not just our clients, but to any single person who walks through our doors. And we are also partnering up with very credible institutions such as Momentum. Now, just a key thing to state as we continue on with this webinar, just some few guidelines on how we conduct ourselves. So we will be having a Q&A session after the webinar. So if you want to ask questions, then please do write them on the comment section below. We will be able to read them, and you will also be able to hear your answers from our wonderful guest today. And also, let's ask questions related to the topic, nothing about whatever is happening out there, just topic related questions. And the most important thing, let's have fun. Let's absolutely have fun in this session. Let's be free about it, and remember that every single question will be answered to the best of our abilities. So today we will be discussing car import financing. What are the requirements, the loans, and what are the processes involved? And our guest will be this very topic. So we found ourselves in that position. We want to buy a car. We have the money or don't have the money, and we're just wondering, how am I going to buy it? How am I going to access it? How am I going to make sure that that's not for everyone? Times are tough. We are cash strapped. So most of the time we want a financing solution. But we don't know what are the requirements for this. What papers do I need? What loans am I able to access? And most importantly, what are the processes? How long does it necessarily take between me deciding to want to buy a car and actually buying the car? So today we're going to have a look into this topic. We're going to delve deep and dissect each and every one of them. And obviously, I have two wonderful guests who are going to be guiding us through all of it. So let me introduce our first guest. Now, our first guest, I'll have to read this out, has been in Momentum for 5 years, where she started off in sales before moving to operations. And now she helms in the credit department. She is a credit analyst, and her name is our very wonderful Loise Mbago. She's clearly the woman for the job. Welcome, Loise.
Thank you very much.
You're excited to be here?
I'm really happy
Amazing.
Yeah.
And as I said, we have two guests. So our second guest, I'll also have to read this out. He has no less experience. He has been in the banking industry for the last 7 years. Within those 7 years, he was in Stanbic for 1 year before moving on to I&M Bank for 6 years as a mortgage advisor. Currently, he works for Momentum and is, listen to the title, an MIF Partnership Relationship Executive. A mouthful of words for a man with precise words. Everyone, let's welcome Mr. Gordon Olang. Welcome, Gordon. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
You look amazing. What? Is that the suit that comes from being an MIF Partnership Relationship Executive?
It's inbuilt, it's something that
Fantastic, fantastic. As you can see, we even have guests who dress up to the occasion. So, I think I'm going to go with ladies first. Who is a credit analyst, yours?
Okay, so in very simple terms, a credit analyst is someone who analyzes, reviews clients. So when a client comes to us, to Momentum, and they want to take a loan facility with us, we are the ones who review their documentation, see whether they qualify, see whether they have the affordability, and then we proceed to approve. Yes.
So you're basically people who say yes or no. You're holding the judge's hand. What's it called? A gavel, I think. Yes. You're the one who's holding it and saying this one yes, this one no.
Yes, yes. We are the ones.
Everyone, please be friends with her. And obviously, I'm now also going to go on to Gordon. Who is an MF Partnership Relationship Executive?
Actually, this is a guy who works as the liaison between the corporates and different partners that we have on board. Because with CARS360, we have different partners that we're working together with, different banks, different microfinances. So I'm the guy who handles all the applications heading to the bank if the client opts to go for bank financing. Yeah.
Oh, you're the bridge, so to say.
Exactly.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I think I'll actually start from your end because you've talked so much about the client. Where does a client start? Where do they start this journey?
Okay, with CARS360, for a client to approach us, it means that he has the passion to have the car, that is one. Secondly, then he might have settled for a car already. Maybe he wants us just to finance. Or if in case the client doesn't have any clue of the car that he wants, we have able relationship officers, CARS360 relationship officers that will help in making the choices for the client. Yeah, they'll take the client through the journey of choosing the car and advising more about it. Then after that, then the client will tell us the position he's taking, whether to be financed by Momentum or maybe if he's opting for bank financing.
Very interesting. You've even pointed something out that I've always been asked this. You know, people are like, why should we always take bank financing? Why not just save for a while? So I would actually throw that same question to you. Why bank financing?
People do have different budgets. Somebody might be having his personal budgets, how much he wants to be engaged with a facility. So with banks are a little bit having prolonged repayment durations, heading up to 60 months. That is 5 years. So some customers do go for long term. That is the reason why they opt for banks in many occasions. And also you find customers that are saying, I don't want to have this loan for long. I just want to serve it for 12 months or maybe 2 years, which is 24 months.
Yeah.
So that one is what directs where we're taking the client.
It's giving them the options to not get stuck.
Exactly.
You want to buy a car? Buy it. You don't have the money? We will offer you the facilities to do it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And also now, in regards to bank financing, we have seen that some people are able to qualify for this, but we're not sure who. So, Loise, who qualifies for financing?
Okay, so for Momentum, let me just say, who qualifies for financing? It's anyone. As long as you have the affordability, that is, you have a source of income, you have cash flows, we are able to finance you. Unlike bank financing, for Momentum, what happens is we can finance anyone regardless of your credit listing. So we don't discriminate the client. We will just finance you based on how much you can be able to sustain or you can be able to afford in terms of installments.
All right.
Yeah.
And this also includes if someone has, because we've seen some of these people. Someone is working, they're a business person, but they don't have an active bank account. I think most of the time, for all Kenyans, we can relate to this. We transfer via M-Pesa a lot. Those people also qualify?
Yes, we do. When a client comes to us, we usually have 2 stages of appraisal. We have the first stage is credit appraisal 1. The second stage is credit appraisal 2. So in credit appraisal 1, one of the requirements we ask the clients for is the M-Pesa statement and the bank statement. Why we ask for the M-Pesa statement and the bank statement is just to check how the client transacts. So we will approve maximum based on the weight of the statement of the client and how much they can be able to sustain based on the
Yes. Are you sure that's not a car feature you've just named right now? We know DCT, right? Is that it? Is that what you're talking about? What is that?
Gordon?
Actually, this DSCR means debt service coverage ratio. We need to know the client who is approaching us for financing, how much burden does he have in his finances? How many loans is he servicing? Then we need to know, we gauge this against his earnings. In many occasions, you realize that some banks are saying that you can't go beyond 50% of your earnings servicing debts.
Okay.
So we have to check how much burdened you are. Yeah, that is exactly what it means.
So that is something that applies for both of us. But in credit, at Momentum, and also in bank financing, that is a standard check.
Oh, that's a standard check.
It's
You've
a
called it
standard check.
DSCR.
Yes.
Remember those words, DSCR. Go with that and tell people you learned something new today, DSCR. So I think I'm going to hit back at Gordon just to get it all like synergized. These requirements, as she has stated, some of these requirements come with papers.
Yes.
What does a client need? So a client has come from all that. We've learned that they can qualify now for finances. What are now those requirements and the papers they come with in order to be able to access the finances?
First of all, before we ask for documents, we have to qualify the client. Because you will realize that you might do a lot of paperwork, then the client doesn't qualify. First of all, you have to interrogate the client. You have to know exactly the business registration status of, if in case this guy is in business. Then secondly, you need to know for how long has he been in this business. Then the third thing, you have to check the personal credit history for this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and mind you, maybe the client has just approached us. We have 3 types of customers here. We have some guys who will approach us as individuals. Then we have businesses that are registered as partnerships. Then we have sole traders. So in all this, we have different qualifying criteria. If you're in business, is the business registered? And secondly, for how long? Then the third thing, have you been accessing credits before? And are you listed? Have you been servicing the debts in a good way? Then we have to check how much engaged are you? Yes. Then after doing all that, we have to check the revenue. That is the most important thing.
The revenue.
The revenue, the profits, and your cash flows. Then the current amount of debts you have. We have to check all that. Okay. That is the same thing that Loise was talking about, the DSCR.
The DSCR.
How much engaged are you? Yeah. Then if you qualify, you are not listed. Unlike Momentum.
Yeah.
You don't need to be. If you are listed with CRB, then you don't qualify for bank financing.
Okay.
Then another thing which is contrary to what she was saying, with banks, they deal with bank statements, not investor statements. So that is where we part. That is where we part ways.
So that's where you part ways. So you were just friends up to this moment.
And with us, you're friends all through.
Your friends all the I love that. I love that. Yes. I don't know if I should interrupt you and ask her, why does Momentum accept anyone? What made you go that route?
Okay, so I wouldn't say Momentum accepts anyone. It's more of, I'd say we do not want to limit the client. So when a client comes to us, what we look at is what they can afford. Because you see, when they come to us, they're coming for us to finance them, and you know, they want to purchase a vehicle through us, right? So we already have when this is a client who is interested, like we shouldn't just cut them off. We should give them like a chance, as long as they have the affordability, they have a source of income, and they want to purchase a vehicle, they meet all the criteria, we just proceed to finance them. So the why is because we're trying to expand people's possibilities. So when a client is coming to us and they want to purchase a vehicle, of course we're not going to close them off. We will check, see whether they can afford, most importantly afford, and then we will proceed now to approve based on their affordability.
All right, and be careful, very careful, Loise. You sounded like you were doing a sales pitch.
I was stating facts.
You're just stating the facts.
I'm just stating the facts.
So it's
very
open,
simple.
very simple, open to everyone.
Open to everyone. As long as you have income, you can come.
Fantastic. So, Mr. Gordon, obviously we stopped at the part where you parted ways with a few, for the sort of the requirements and qualifications that someone has in order now to be able now to start producing the documents, to be able to get the financing. So, take us more along that path. Where do we go?
Okay, documentations, as I mentioned earlier, we have three customers here. We have individual, we have partnerships, and we have sole traders. And remember, we also have companies. Yeah, so for individuals, either you are in business or you are employed. If in case you are employed, the requirements that we need, first of all, you have to be in employment, either permanently employed or you are on contract. If you are on contract, then you have to have renewed your contract for at least 3 years.
Right.
Then there is a letter that will be done by the employer, which is an employee introduction letter. It will be highlighting under what terms are you employed. It will be showing the start of your contract if you're on contract and the end of your contract. So that is what will guide the bank for how long will they be giving you this facility. Because we want to believe that if you access this facility, then you'll be using the proceeds from your job to service the loan. So if you're on contract, the credit that you'll be given will be within your contract period. And if you're employed as well, we'll still have the employee introduction letter specifying exactly that you don't have any disciplinary actions that is proceeding against you before they give you that credit.
Disciplinary actions. Let's not get into it. Let's keep going. Let's not get into that one. That one could be a minefield on its own. Yes.
Then we'll need the latest 3 months pay slips, and whatever is on the pay slip as your net salary should be reflecting on the bank statement. That is why we need the bank statement and we need the pay slip. We can reconcile the two. We check if exactly what is on the pay slip reflects on your bank statement. Then we'll need the latest 1 year bank statements. 1 year or 6 months.
1 year or 6 months.
Yeah, it depends with which partner we've approached for this case. Because we have different, though the practice for banking is almost the same with mainstream banks, the requirements are almost the same. So some of them might ask for 1 year, some of them might ask for 6 months. So when I'll be handling your application, I'll have to check which partner am I dealing with and what requirements do they always want. And in fact, in many occasions, as I mentioned earlier, some banks, microfinance now, might ask for an M-Pesa statement. Yeah, to reinforce the bank statement. We'll need the IDs, the normal KYC. If I mention KYC, I believe you understand what it is.
For the sake of, not for my sake, for the sake of someone else who's watching us who might not understand KYC, what is KYC?
KYC is just know your customer, because we want to believe that if we are dealing with you, we want to know you more. For us to know you more, we need the ID, we need your KRA PIN, we need the passport size photo, of which in many occasions nowadays we just take with our expensive gadgets.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, those are the requirements for somebody who's employed.
Okay.
But if you're in business, we need the business registration certificate. We need the PIN for the business and PIN for the individual if that business is limited company. And the IDs for the directors.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's a partnership, we need the partnership deed. Because the partnership deed is the agreement between these two people coming into an agreement to start off the business. It will highlight how much each member is eligible to earn at the end of the month in terms of sharing of the profits.
Yeah. All right. So I'm imagining after you have all those documents, you have to hand them over to someone else.
I'll check them first.
You check them
Before
first.
I send them to the bank, I'll check them and I'll make sure that they are good, they're okay. At that time, it will find that already I've run your CRB. I've checked whether you're listed or not.
Yeah.
If you're listed, then sorry, we'll look for an alternative, which our momentum is there to assist. Yes.
Fantastic. So Lois, with all these documentations, I'm assuming, do they pass through you? Do you have a look at them?
Yes. Okay. So it's the same. We go through the same documentations. Like he's mentioned, the ID, the KRA, there's an application form that the client needs to fill. Once we've gone through all the KYC documents, we proceed to approve maximum. Again, like I said, based on the client's affordability. So let me just take you through something I'd like to call the customer journey.
Yes.
So once we have already approved the amount, the information goes back to the client, right? So the client now will pick a vehicle of their choice based on the quote based on the amount that you have approved. So once they have picked the vehicle of their choice, within, of course, the limit of what you've approved, the CARS360 team comes in and they provide us with a quote for the same. So once we get a quote for the vehicle, the client needs to pay a deposit of 25% minimum. It's not limited, but the 25% minimum is just to show commitment that this client is actually serious and they do intend to purchase this vehicle.
Oh, it's a commitment fees.
It's basically a commitment fee, yeah?
Okay.
So we call it deposit. So they'll pay the 25% deposit or more, again, depending on what the client can be able to at the moment. So once that's done, that's the end of credit appraisal 1, like I had said.
Yes, the CA1.
Yes,
Let me look more
called
intelligent.
CA1.
Yes. Yes.
So once that's done, the client has paid deposit, so the vehicle now starts coming, right?
All right.
Yes, we've now that's what we call credit appraisal 2. Once the client has already paid deposit, the vehicle, 60 days have passed, the vehicle is now here. What we check at credit appraisal 2 is we confirm that the vehicle now has insurance, the vehicle is in good condition. The documentations that had been provided, that is like at CA1 we already confirmed that they are true and genuine, we just counter check the same. At CA2, in case the client wants to proceed with MIF long term, that is the long-term facility where they want to extend and proceed, we also facilitate that. In some cases, you might find a client who wants to pay at that point the difference. So that option is also open for them. But in case they, for one reason or another, they want to proceed with the same, we actually facilitate for that as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. And I do want to just take us back a little bit
Okay.
on the deposit.
Okay.
This deposit, is it across the board, like for any single car, or is it also limited to, like, some cars have it, some cars don't? Like, is it a flexible thing or is it a standard thing?
Okay, so it's flexible. 25% is minimum. Okay, something else I should have mentioned earlier is that the limit for the financing is 3 million, but this is based on the vehicle, vehicle that the client wants. So we have a list, of course we provide that to the client, so based on what the vehicle that the client has chosen, we advise them. You might find a client, maybe the vehicle that the client is purchasing, the 25% might surpass the limit, so they might need to pay a bit more in terms of deposit, and then the rest will facilitate. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So what happens in that case, Gordon? You advise the client again.
Loise is like my sister in this process.
We work together.
Yeah, because
It's good to see the bond has come back. You left it and now you're back. Yes.
Okay.
because actually mine is different. If the client opts to go to the bank, he'll not pay the deposit before we do the qualifying processes.
Okay.
Because the first thing that I'll do, I'll check the documents that, if from the onset the client has said that I want my financing to be from the bank, I'll have to check the documents before we accept in the 25% deposit. So I'll have to do a preliminary bank approval. I send the documents to the bank, they check and attest them, they tell me Gordon, this is fine, it's something that we can have a look at. Then from that point, I communicate back to the client. I tell the client, your application is fine. You can now proceed and place a deposit of 25%. Yeah.
Right.
So the difference there comes in, for us, we're not sending to the bank. We are the ones who are doing the approval at Momentum. So, so once the client has paid the deposit, we proceed with the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also now the process of now the car coming in
Yeah.
and everything now
Yeah.
he's just right about to receive it. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I think I'll bounce off another question there. Let's see. Mini. Let me ask Gordon. We'll get back to you, Loise. Don't worry. So Gordon, you've talked about when everything is now given to the bank.
Yes.
The bank is okay with it. What happens next? What does the bank do after documentation?
Okay, bank will act. Remember, this is an import we're doing, and the bank already gave us a preliminary approval on this, and the client has placed a deposit of 25%. We initiate the process of importation. The car now is on the way coming. Then, on the arrival, we take the documents to the bank. Then the bank looks at them. Offer letter is issued to the client. Client signs the offer letter. We take it back to the bank. Then the bank will respond again with a letter of undertaking.
Letter of undertaking.
Yes.
That's not like an undertaker.
That is the letter dictating what the bank wants from us for them to pay us.
Okay.
It's an irrevocable agreement. It commits that they are going to pay us within a stipulated period of time upon giving 1, 2, 3, 4 documents. Then we issue the documents to the bank. We do the in-charge between the client and the bank. We take the logbook and all the import documents to the bank. Then within a given time, they pay us. But before they pay us, they give us a release letter.
A release
This is
letter.
another letter that they give us. It's a letter giving the authority that we can now issue car of these specifications to XYZ client. Yeah, that is, after receiving that letter, we release the car. Then within a given time, within 48 hours or within 24 hours, they pay us.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Is there any case where, for example, client has come in, they've chosen a car, the car has been agreed upon, it's been quoted, everything has been arranged, but upon, let's say, request, or when the car is coming in, you end up finding that the car is, let's say, of a different spec, and it might even cost more. What happens in such a scenario?
That had never.
And is it even possible?
It had never happened, and it cannot happen because the first thing the vehicle has to go through inspection in Japan before we buy it. Inspection. If it passes inspection, then we buy it. If it fails, then we look for another alternative. But in that case, we'll be updating client on step-by-step progress. Yeah, so there is no any occasion we will buy a different car from what the client wanted. It will be exactly as we sent the photos earlier to the client and all the briefs about the car, all the specs, it will be the same.
The same car will
Yes.
arrive as they saw it and it
Yes.
was discussed upon
Exactly.
earlier.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think I also have a question for Loise.
Yes.
In terms of credit,
Mhm.
now obviously you say anyone can qualify,
Yes.
but I do bet there are, depending on the person.
Yes.
Let's say someone comes and approaches Momentum and they want to buy a car for X amount of shillings.
Yeah.
And through them actually submitting all the documents, you end up finding out that the car won't be driven by them. Let's say it's a father or a mother or parents buying it for a teenager or someone who's going into college.
Okay.
Will that affect how you view them? When you're analyzing the credit that you're going to give them, will that affect how you see them, or it's still the same? It's same across the board.
As long as they have the affordability,
Mhm.
it cannot. That would be discriminating them based on
Ah.
that.
Mhm.
But as long as the client is able to, they meet all the qualifications,
Mhm.
so they're able to service the loan. They've provided everything, all the KYC documents. We've gone through everything, like you said, and they qualify. That cannot, affect how we're going to approve them.
So
We'll
it's
just-
not, yeah.
So it doesn't matter who the car is going to.
Yes.
We will just approve.
Oh, it's
based
not-
on the client who is purchasing this vehicle.
It's not based on, okay, you have to be the one who owns this
No,
car.
yes.
So I can buy it for someone else, regardless who that person is, as long as I qualify,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
finance. Same
Yeah.
for banks?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So everything is done. So at what point after approval, like how long does it take after all these things are done before the client gets their car? And I'm assuming that during this process, of course, we have a point where the client is also trying to finish up on, let's say, if there's anything left to pay, they're trying to finish up on it. How long does it take?
This depends because I want to believe that on the arrival of the car, already we had received all the approvals from the bank. So the only thing that might make it to be 1 week or 1.5 weeks are things like placing the tracker on it, because banks will need that this car needs to be tracked. So they'll give us a list of approved tracker companies, tracking companies that they work with. So it depends with how fast they place the tracking devices, and also the insurance has to be on this car.
Insurance.
So those,
okay.
yeah. From our end as CARS360, at that time, at that point, already we've closed our processes. We are just waiting for the bank to clear the processes. So it takes like at least 1 week for the process to complete for us to hand over the car to the client.
Or for you to hand over the car to the client.
Yes.
And I've heard a very interesting thing. You said something about insurance. For the client, this insurance, is it also included in the initial financing aspect, or it's something that comes after? Like, can they take it as part of the financing package?
Yes and no at the same time.
Yes and no at the same time.
Yeah.
Loise just laughed at that.
Yes. If in case this financing is going to be done by Momentum, then it comes as a package. It will come as a package. But with banks, you realize that they have a panel that they work with. So they might dictate that this car, for us to finance it, will give you the insurance as well. Because we are the ones who know which partners we are working with. So they might dictate. And if they don't dictate, then we just give the insurance, then we just endorse the bank.
Oh, you just give the insurance and you endorse it.
Endorsement, yeah.
All right. And I think we'll even keep going from that point, I think. The cars come in, client sees it, they're very happy. But they do decide, I don't like those rims. Do you then again go and sit them down at the table and tell them, yes, we offer some, like, is there now more, or you're done?
Because
after this, go get your own rims.
We stick to the specifications we gave earlier, because when we are giving you photos for the car that you're buying, we are giving you photos inclusive of rims. It shows how rims are, everything about that car. You'll buy it as is, basically. Yeah.
Oh,
so if you opt to change the rims, then it's something that you do at your own time after handover. You'll not be part of it.
Oh, you'll not be part of it.
Yes.
So this is a classic case of, forgive me, Loise, I have to say this. This is a classic case of you're getting married to a beautiful woman. You've gone out for the wedding. She looks fantastic. Wedding is over. You're finally with her alone in your room, and then she comes without makeup, and you're like, oh. It's even in that case, you're still like, no. We had agreed upon everything.
Yes.
This is your car.
Yep. Because the specifications dictates the value of the car. If you want something fancy, maybe alloy rims of gold, all that, then you'll have to part with good money. So, but we'll just give you a car based on the quotation we gave you earlier and the pictures that we shared with you, with the exact specifications we shared.
With the exact specifications.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So let me go to Loise. Loise, when it comes to how, when you're dealing with the clients, especially who come under Momentum as a credit analyst, what are the things you feel people either misinterpret or have no idea about but they keep mentioning? What are the confusing aspects, especially when it does come to car import financing, that you've experienced as a credit analyst?
I think it's the deposit. Because when people hear 25% deposit, they assume that it is irregardless of the vehicle maybe that they've chosen. So you find if the vehicle surpasses again the 3 million limit, it doesn't matter even if the client qualifies, right? If the 25% is more than 3 million, there's no way we can finance that. So we will stick to the 3 million.
Okay. All right, and just as a reminder, if you are still watching us or you're just joining us, we are discussing about car import financing, the requirements, the loans, the processes, and we have had very big breakdowns. Gordon Olang, obviously, and MIF. I have to read it. I have to read it. It is the longest. I just have to read it. An MIF partnership relationship executive breaking down what you need as a client. And then obviously we have our wonderful Loise Mbago, credit analyst. If you have any question, we are about to get into the Q&A, so please keep on posting. I am seeing fantastic comments on the YouTube page. Keep on doing that. We will be able to answer each and every one of those single questions. So as we conclude, we have taken, I believe we've gone through the entire customer journey, haven't we? From the moment the client walks in the door, he's like, okay, I want to buy a car. I don't have money. Take me through it. Is there anything that you're seeing that we may have missed? A glaring omission within this customer journey? I think we'll start with you, Gordon.
The most common one, you realize the client is telling you, Gordon, I want you to, I have other sources that can sustain me. So looking at my payslip, I have other loans I'm servicing, yes, but the net which is remaining here is enough to service my loan. You realize that maybe somebody is earning like a gross of 600K, and the take-home pay is like 150K. So this client might tell you, but 150 is sufficient to service both my loan and also sustain me. In that case, this customer does not qualify. because he's gone beyond the 50% mark. He's servicing more loans than what he's taking home. So in that case, that client doesn't qualify.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, so it's not a matter of take all and give me the car. No,
Yeah.
we'll have to qualify you before we engage more.
Someone still has to qualify. There still has to be a criteria
Yes,
to be able
yeah.
to assist someone when it does come to the financing.
Exactly.
Okay, right. Interesting. What about you, Loise? What is a glaring thing that you keep experiencing every day, especially when it comes to car import financing, and you're like, man, people should know this?
I have to really think about that one. Because most of the time I
Yeah.
feel like by the time we're onboarding this client,
Yeah.
we usually have completely exposed everything maybe that they need to know. We give them all the options that they need to have. They are very aware. So I wouldn't say that there are such challenges. Yeah, because mostly by the time the client is actually coming to purchase this vehicle, there's a lot of information that we've taken them through. Yeah, we've made sure we know what the client wants, because it's also very important to know what the client wants. Yeah, so by the time that they're coming to us, but by the time it's getting to credit, this information has already gone out there to them. Yeah.
So that's it's not a problem because momentum ensures that the
Yes.
customer throughout the entire process
Yes,
knows every single thing that's happening.
exactly.
And do you think that's something that why? Because we find some people usually have some, how can we describe it, like questions when it does come. They either see you won't be able to finance them enough, or you won't be able to release the money on time. Where do you think it usually breaks down with other people who offer the same kind of service, and where momentum comes in and basically saves the day? What do other people do wrong that makes people a bit iffy, especially when it comes to how the financing is being released?
What do other people do wrong?
Yes. Just in terms of the trust. I think I'm talking about the trust.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd say for us, we're very transparent, and you find like a lot of our competitors might not necessarily be as, let me not say a lot because that should be when
Yeah.
we find some competitors might not necessarily be transparent. So how we stand out, I guess that's what I'd say, how we stand out is that we're very transparent. So from the point where the client shows interest to the point where we're giving the client the vehicle, we ensure that the process is very seamless. We ensure that they know everything that they need to know in terms of the client journey, the process. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I want to believe, not just believing, but I do know that CARS360, when they're giving out a quotation,
Yeah.
it's on both black and white. It shows all the charges that will be there, the duty that will be paid, the transportation, and everything. So there is nothing extra that the client will be told to add after getting the quotation. Yeah, so everything is well explained. Yeah, on the quotation.
Transparency all the way.
Is the key.
Yes.
Fantastic. I love that. So that has been a very insightful session. We're getting in now into the Q&A session. I hope you've been asking your questions. I hope you've had all the very key points, actually. Very cool points from both Loise and Gordon. And I think I'll just jump straight in. There's a question from Robert Okoth. He asks, why should I choose CARS360 as my import partner?
As we mentioned earlier, we are trying to remove the guesswork in car importation, whereby you realize that somebody opts to import by himself, not knowing and not doing the due diligence before doing it. So CARS360 is taking all this burden on them and taking the risk on the customer's behalf. So all that burden is taken by CARS360. So you don't need to worry. Another thing, as I said earlier, when we import for you, we'll give you insurance if you want insurance as well. We'll help you in maintaining that car, and at the same time, when you're tired with this car, we'll do trading for you because already we have the history as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll trade it in for you for a new one.
For a new one.
Yeah.
That's it.
And when we are doing a trade-in, you don't need to surrender your car before receiving the new one.
Yes.
You use the old one until we import for you the new one. So it will be a key-to-key exchange. Yeah.
Fantastic. Just extending that assurity even more.
Exactly.
Wow, that's great.
And by the way, on our quotation, we'll show you how much you will have saved if you buy from us. We'll give you the local market rate for this person, that exact car, and at how much are we importing it for you.
Yeah.
So in terms of percentage, we'll show you you've saved 20% if you import with us, and if you buy locally, you'll have to part with such and such amount extra.
Okay. Fantastic. So I hope, Robert Okoth, your question was answered. The main reason you choose CARS360 as your import partner is because, unlike other people in the market, we will go all the way. And transparency is always key. You'll be able to not just see the processes and everything that's happening, but also you get to save a lot. In which case, by then, you could also just view our YouTube channel where we always post every week a deals video. You can download these deals with CARS360 and be able to save significant savings on your next car purchase. I'd like to jump on to the second question by Kevin Nyongesa. He asks, in comparison to bank rates, or rather a 2-year bank loan, how fair is financing through CARS360? Well, Gordon is getting a workout today. Gordon, I'll repeat it. In comparison to bank rates, or rather a 2-year bank loan, how fair is financing through CARS360?
Financing through CARS360, first of all, the maximum is 2 years, which is 24 months. And you realize that the faster you pay your debts, the more you save on interest. Yeah. So since that we are giving you up to 24 months, then you'll have saved a lot in terms of interest. Unlike banks that you'll pay smaller interest monthly, but at the end of it, if you make your calculations, you realize that you'll have, at the end of it, you'll pay more interest if you calculate. Yeah, so it's advisable you serve your loan within the shortest time possible.
The shortest time possible. Yeah. But still you do offer long-term period.
Yes, if you want to go the bank way where they'll give you up to 5 years, then you're free to, we'll facilitate you, as I mentioned earlier. I'll assist you in getting that financing. Yes.
Fantastic. I hope, Kevin Nyongesa, your question has been answered. I don't know if you have anything to add on to that, Loise.
I think he said everything that needs to be said, yeah.
Summarized it well.
He summarized it very well.
All right. Yeah. So also for momentum as well, that's also what you do in terms of comparison to bank rates or to banks and momentum. That's also what you follow.
Comparison.
Oh no, I'm just asking if also for momentum.
Yeah.
In comparison to bank rates, or rather a 2-year bank loan, momentum as well will still offer very favorable rate to the client.
Yes, we offer very favorable rate to the client, and we also have very flexible repayment periods.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kevin Nyongesa, for your question. I'm not seeing any other questions so far. I think those were the biggest questions. I think then it's a good sign. The session was informative. The session was good. So as we end, let's start with Loise. What's your parting shot to all this? Car import financing. Should people take it?
Yes. Yes. I think it's an affordable way of purchasing a vehicle. I don't think. Okay, there are people who have the ability of maybe paying upfront and getting the vehicle, paying the full amount and getting it. But I feel like this is a financing.
This is a yes.
There is something that we might forget to mention. Since we are discussing financing, it doesn't mean that CARS360 only deals with people who doesn't have full cash. Even if you have 100%, you don't need financing.
Yes. Oh,
We'll
yes.
still import for you.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
because, yeah.
We'll give you a full quotation,
Mhm.
but it will not be a financing quote. It will be just a quotation showing you how much, what you'll be charged for us to import the car for you. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's a very key thing. If you do have the money, CARS360 will still bring in the car. But for the situation you find that your money is not enough, we still offer
Yes.
facilities for that. I
Yes.
think that's a very nice point. That was what you were going at.
Yes, that's what I was trying. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Another thing, yeah? Maybe you are initiating the process of importation, and by the time you are initiating the process, you don't have full cash. We allow you to just give the deposit, then you build on your deposit as the car is on the way coming. By the time it lands at the port, already you built the entire amount that you wanted, the value of the car.
Yeah.
So in that case, we'll still group it as zero financing.
Oh, really interesting.
You are allowed to initiate the process. You go on and build on your deposit, and by the time the vehicle is landing here, you're 100% cleared. Am I right, Loise?
Yes. That's
Okay.
right.
Asemi vitu zake. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I think that was a very interesting topic to tackle. I think the biggest question always in everyone's mind is, will I be legible? Will I be able to even pay for these finances I'm given? And as we've shown, it's very easy. I think we're the ones who overcomplicate with too much stuff or not even asking the right questions. So I hope that our viewers, you've asked the right questions. If you didn't know about car import financing, well, there it is, told from the horse's mouth, or rather, in our case, from the experts' mouths. Now, just a short summary of other services CARS360 offers. I think you've even heard, as Gordon and Loise were even mentioning them, we not only import cars, but we also insure the vehicle. So if you are importing your vehicle, we will also offer you the opportunity, or a facility rather, to be able to insure your brand new vehicle so you're very sorted out when it's here. The other thing we also offer, and this is a brand new product, is maintenance. We also offer a maintenance facility where you're able to access up to 100,000 shillings for the maintenance of your vehicle. So you do not have to worry that you don't have enough money right now to get those brand new, I keep saying rims, I shall go with rims, those brand new rims, those brand new tires, to get your car serviced in time. Even if you want to put a sound system, we will finance it. As long as you're within that, we'll be able to finance you. And obviously, the final one, which was the best thing, we also offer trade-in. How trade-in works is you bring in your old car, we value it, it acts as your deposit, we tell you how much to top up for your brand new car, and once your brand new car is in, waits when we now re-engage you again and you come for a key-to-key exchange. You give us the key to your old car, we give you the key to your brand new car. And that's just the CARS360 way, taking out any guesswork throughout the entire journey of your car ownership. And obviously, if you do want to get more information on CARS360, then please do visit our offices located on International House, 9th floor along Mama Ngina Street, where our excellent team of the consultants you've had today will be able to provide you with more information. And we are open from Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's the end of the webinar. I want to just thank my wonderful guests, credit analyst from Momentum, Loise, Mbago. It's been fantastic to just hear. I guess right now I'll go home just saying CA1 and CA2, and I won't even explain it to people. I'll just say it, to look clever. But I have enjoyed all the information that you've given. Thank you so much for having joined us.
Thank you for having us.
And obviously we have Gordon Olang, MIF. I'll just go ahead and read it again. MIF Partnership Relationship Executive, Mr. Gordon Olang. Thank you very much for expounding on all those requirements, on the comments, the loans, even the processes. through you, it's when I'm saying it's very easy. It's not that hard, is it?
Yeah, it's so easy.
So people should just come right in, right?
Just call or just come. I'll be able to assist you.
Fantastic. And also for our wonderful audience, our listeners out there, I have been seeing your comments. Let's see. Oh, wait. Before I even end, there is a last question. And we will always accept questions. So this is from Rosalind Akoth. She asks, what if I import a car with CARS360 and my monthly repayment is, for example, 20,000 per month and I want to pay more? Will it reduce the capital of the car?
Loise, you can take this.
Okay, it won't necessarily reduce the capital of the car. It will just reduce the loan term that the client is going to service the facility for. Yes. So let's say maybe the 20,000 was to go on for 24 months, and maybe they want to pay more. Now, it's the how much they want to pay that will shorten now the period now from 24 months to maybe like 6 months or 5 months or 4 months. So it's very flexible. Like I said earlier, the repayment period is very flexible.
Payment is very flexible, yes.
You
agree with that as well?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I hope, Rosalind, of course, your question has been answered, by the way. And just before we end, because we are at the very, very edge of where we're supposed to be finished, the very cusp of the end, if you do have a question, we are going to give 1 more minute as I describe everything else, for you to just be able to question and grill our 2 fantastic guests. Obviously, if you do want them to come back and answer more questions, definitely comment on the YouTube section. Comment in the comment section below so that we, Gordon and Loise, will be able to see it and go like, you know what, 1 more time, we'll be able to come around. So, as I was saying, so to keep up to date with the products that CARS360 offers and any activity or events, we do have our social media pages. For example, you are watching us on our YouTube channel, so please do, hold on. All right, so please do subscribe onto our YouTube channel. We have other videos that are vast, other videos that have all the other information. We have our deals videos, we have our deep dive videos, we have our webinars, and even last month we were even able to cover the Safari Rally. So if you miss the Safari Rally and you do want to follow from day 1 to day 4, the final day of the rally, then they're all available on our channel. You just have to subscribe. We're also on Twitter at CARS360. We're on Instagram at CARS360. We're on Facebook, CARS360 as well. We're on LinkedIn, CARS360. And we're also on TikTok at, you guessed it, car.c.a.r.s360. It was CARS360. So let's see if there's any more question. Oh yes, people are saying absolutely we need them back. So do you accept the challenge? Will you come back?
Yes.
What do you think we should discuss next time? We've done the financing bit. What else is there? What's next?
You tell us. Tell us. We are very.
Please do tell them what you want them to discuss. This is an opportunity for you to learn from the experts. But without further ado, thank you for watching our webinar today. Thank you for having attended it. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Loise. And that is the end. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and we hope to see you on the next webinar. For now, goodbye and have a wonderful evening.
This is you. And najua venye getting your next car is on top of your priority list. That is why I am on top of my game to ensure it becomes a grand failure. Wacha nikushow. Oya, bro.
Lakini najua ujui venye geji inaweza pigwa reverse and then gari inakuwa low mileage. Pap. Na hata hizi jua. Aya, iko sawa?
Iko sawa.
Simona venye iko fiti?
Iko fiti mbaya.
Avoid Timo Matata with CARS360. Take out the guesswork from your car importation.